I'm live. Okay. I am still figuring out the nuances of these things, I suppose. These tech things. Hello, everyone. What is it? Oh my gosh, it's a new moon in Aries. So we have an Aries sun and an Aries moon. And I'm going to try to come over here this way because my face is looking so dark with this bad lighting in this room. But hopefully you can see me a little bit. I wanted to come and do a quick new moon news and just welcome this new moon cycle. We've got a new moon in Aries, and it's really special because we've got the sun in Aries and also the moon in Aries, and that's a lot of fire. So Aries is a cardinal fire sign. So a cardinal sign is basically the purest of the element. So Aries is a fire sign. So in Aries is the purest source of what the fire element is. So the purest passion, the purest will, the purest drive, and also the purest sense of adventure. So this is the sign that wants to go places, do new things, wants to travel, loves new beginnings, and can kind of get a little bit bored. They kind of need sort of to constantly feel active and stimulated for their life to be interesting and fulfilling. So it raises questions. Where do you feel like your life is fulfilling? Where would you usually want to see more adventure? How could you see yourself manifesting that for yourself? And I know for me, I'm about to do a lot of new things. I'm about to start a doctorate program, which is very exciting. I've launched this business, Labryss Moon guidance and coaching and counseling. I am reaching out more as a counselor, as a tarot reader, as a guide. I'm really diving into my work. I'm also exploring other work options as well, always exploring, always learning and finding new ways to give to my communities, and also paring down and seeing the communities that maybe don't need as much of my energy at the moment. And that is important work too. And I think that's something to remember during Aries season, as we're trying so hard to ramp up. Sometimes you need to ramp down in order to ramp up. How do you make room for new things if there's too much in the way? So you need to decide what's valuable to you and what are your true directions? What is your true north? And I think sometimes fire signs, especially Aries, has a hard time figuring out what true north is, or even the concept of it at all, But it's also very exciting because there's just so much energy, and we've just had the spring equinox, so we're officially in the spring season. It still feels pretty cold to me. I'm in California now, so it's probably much colder in Illinois, where I'm from. But it's, I've been here for a while now. So when it's like 40 degrees, 50 degrees, it's feeling a little bit uncomfortable for me. I'm definitely looking forward to more spring-like weather. I'm looking forward to more like 70s. Even some 80s would be good for me, although that's maybe more like, Southern California. That might be asking too much, but that would be perfect for me. 70s, 80s, that sounds great. And I'm just excited to see where these new beginnings are going to lead me. And I had the funniest April Fool's experience. So it's April Fool's Day, yay, April 1st. And it's kind of a nice relief because there's that idea of the Ides of March. So the Ides of March are basically things being really difficult and conflicted in mid-March. And then you get to come out of that with April Fool's Day. So hopefully it's fun and it's light and it's silly. And sometimes it's, playing jokes on people. That's what they say that you're supposed to do. And that's fun. And sometimes people play some pretty mean jokes. But for me, I actually had a personal April Fool's joke that, well, I'm not sure it was a joke, but it was definitely an April Fool's type of experience. I thought that I was going to be launching this new YouTube channel on April 1st. I knew it was the new moon. It was a new moon in Aries. It felt like the most perfect astrological moment to do it, only to find out that it had already been launched. So when I recorded my first live video, I was under the impression that that was a one-off, that was just, one thing that I was doing. And then I would launch, just like I launched the business at the full moon, I was going to launch the YouTube channel at the new moon. But I already did it. So imagine my surprise when I realized that it already existed in the world. So everybody, welcome to the Labryss Moon channel, where I will be giving new moon news, full moon forecasts, and just little tidbits here and there just to energize and inspire people. And in that vein, let's just see what is new that we have headed towards us. So I mentioned before that I'm using a new tarot deck, which is always exciting for me to use new decks. So I'm using the Witches Tarot, the Modern Witches Tarot, and I've used lots of different decks, and this one is just really fun, really diverse, in its images and its characters, and also very queer inclusive, all kinds of wonderful things, gender inclusive, a really wonderful deck and easy to understand. And as a witch, someone who the elemental themes and elemental magic is very real for me. So this deck that specifically goes into what the different suits mean and the elements that they're connected to, that means a lot to me. So hopefully it means something to you as well. And let's just see. I am shuffling. I'm not someone that does fancy card tricks. Never have been. Never will be. But I am shuffling, if you can see here. And this one seems to be the one that is presenting itself. So, okay. So this is interesting because the last time I got Four of Swords too, or no, I didn't get Four of Swords actually, but I did get a Swords card. And the Four of Swords is actually, I remember the name of this card, and it's called Everything's Going to Be All Right. And it's, if you see this card, you see a woman and she's got swords pointed towards her. Swords are air. So air is associated with the mind, with the East, and it's just all these things in our head, so it's these things in our head, and sometimes when we get too stuck in our head, sometimes it affects our body. Has anyone ever been in a space where they're so conflicted about something, they're so worried about it, and then they find themselves getting sick? I recently had a moment like this, and I know my children have, I don't know if it's because of this, if it's Four of Swords, but I know that physically they have been ill, and I've been nursing children that are throwing up for the past couple nights, so there hasn't been a lot of sleep, and there's been a lot of worry. There's nothing worse than when your kids are sick. It's like so much worse than being sick yourself, because you know what to do for you. But for them, you're just bending over backwards trying to make it okay for them and trying to nurture them and trying to comfort them at the same time. And it can feel like a lot. So that's been going on a lot around here. My home, I call it Hearthstone. So that has been the story of Hearthstone these past 2 days. And I have been pretty worried about it. But you love as hard as you can, you give as much care as you can, and you just trust that the universe has your back, that, for me, for the goddess is supporting me. Not that she's not supporting other people, but because that is the system that I relate to. I know the goddess has my back. I know the universe has my back. I know that I'm doing as much as I can do. It's all gonna be okay. So, I'll just say in that vein, it's all going to be okay. Everything is fine. You see that the swords are pointed towards her, but they're not actually in her or beside her or trapping her. They're just above her. They're in her mind. So if you worry about something and you feel like you're going to be stuck and you're not going to let yourself rise above, then you never will. But if you just, put your your hand over your head and say, damn, this is really hard and I will be okay. Just let me take a moment and breathe through it. You will get through it. So So for this new moon, there could be tiredness happening. I know there has been tiredness happening, especially when a 2-year-old is, say, throwing up at 2 in the morning, and then a 12-year-old is throwing up at, say, 3 in the morning, and you have to work at, say, 6 in the morning. That's a lot, but it passes. They're feeling better. I'm feeling better about them. And I'm feeling good about life prospects, because I think for a minute I was feeling a little bit stuck professionally, and I'm seeing a lot of new doors start to open, and it's very, very enlightening. Um, and she's covered up, so she is comforted, she's protected. And if she looks out the window, it's a beautiful sunny day. The clouds are clear. It's not raining. It's not gray, so much. A comfortable bed that she's lying on. She has so many resources. I mentioned this before. So many resources that she's not aware of because she's just so in it. So be in it, but don't get stuck in it. And that's definitely, I don't know. I feel like this is a card for what's going on right now. So this is meant to be a prediction. Maybe there's more of this coming, or maybe this is just what's right here, right now. We shall see. But either way, I'm not worried about it, because I'm aware. I'm aware that the deepest trap is our mind. So if we can get past that, we can do anything, truly. So I will leave that there. And now I'm going to draw from this Isis Oracle. So I'd mentioned before that I'd been using the Goddess Oracle, and it's a truly wonderful Oracle deck. But I've been wanting to devote more work to Isis. Aset. Aset is her Egyptian name, her African name, actually. And I want to see what Isis Aset has to share about this new moon. Looks like this card. You know what's so funny? This card right here, Proper Burial for Freedom. I believe this is the card that I pulled last time. And if not, it was a card that I pulled in a previous reading. Proper Burial for Freedom, Sacrifice to Osiris, Lord of the Dead. So according to this card, this is all about putting to rest the things that no longer serve you. And I am in the process of doing that in a really big way. I am sort of clearing my dance card. I've done a really, really amazing work for a lot of communities, and I salute that work, and I'm proud of it. And there are some things that it's just time for me to let go of, because I need to clear the way for other possibilities, and I need to make room for more blessings, and I need to make room in my spirit, in my life, so that I can give more. Because when you're doing too much and you're putting energy in the wrong places, you're actually taking away from the things that actually do need your loving care, and taking away from yourself, because a lot of times you're in a strange headspace about doing so. And I promised myself that I was going to figure that out this year and henceforward. But apparently there's still some things that I need to think about. So I'm going to maybe put a little ritual work into some cord cutting, some things that need to be let go, that need to be resolved. And a cord cut is, there's many forms of it, but the most popular form that I know of, and a form that I learned specifically, was taught to me by Curandera. So a Mexican healer who was giving us a full sort of ritual perspective of how to truly cut cords. And the true way to cut cords, to truly do a proper burial for freedom, is to honor the love and the life that was given to you through it. So it's not just, I'm cutting this away, I'm getting rid of it, I'm making myself free. It's honoring all the joy and the love that it brought you, and the ways that it changed you, or the person, the situation, whatever it is. Um, love it and then leave it, hold it and then let it go. And that's the only true way to cut a cord. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at this moon cycle. And yeah, I look forward to that work. And I also am going to be leaving some information up here very soon about a way for you to get a hold of me, because now I am formally offering readings. I'm formally offering guidance, divinations, all kinds of different things, all types of mindfulness and coaching, yes, just many, many different things. So I would love to work with you. I'd love to speak with you. And yeah, I am going to do that cord cutting work so that I can make room for this new business and these new amazing clients and connections that are coming my way. So with that, I will say to you, happy new moon in Aries, and may you walk with love and light today. And I will see you next time.